people of the United States, nations of the world will not learn without bitter lessons. The next war will be a terrible story of the failure of antiquated machinery and antiquated methods, of the horrifying destructiveness of the modern agencies of arms. Armies and navies will be destroyed from the air. And as these aeroplanes destroy armies and navies, they will destroy cities. They will destroy populations. Peace and faith are necessary among men, not merely for the welfare of nations, but for the very existence of nations. The next war will depopulate the earth. Invisible poison gases, inconceivably devastating explosives, annihilating death rays will sweep to utter destruction not only the men, but the children who would constitute another generation and the mothers who bear them.
This is Cara Danvers with Catco Media, and this is a worldwide exclusive. I'm here with a hero who has been fighting in the shadows. This is Dreamer. My first question, who are you?
I am Dreamer, and I am a descendant of a daughter of Naltor.
When did you come here from Naltor?
I didn't. I was born here in America. I grew up in an idyllic town
Can't. Someone hacked the system.
Humans and aliens lived together in harmony.
My mother was Naltorian, but my father was a human.
So you are both human and alien?
Yes. My parents believed that humans and aliens could
Coexist. And I am living proof of that.
What is artificial? It's right there. What are you talking about?
AI, artificial insemination.
But it is.
Depends on who you ask.
If we create some sort of silicon-based life form, but it acts like a life form, it has a desire.
But growing up wasn't easy. I am also a trans woman. I'm different, Ms. Danvers, but so is everybody.
And I don't know when that became such a bad thing. The greatest gift we can give each other is our authentic selves.
There was, I think in Australia a few years ago, an artificial insemination lab that had a bunch of like bulges stored in canisters, but it like overheated, so you had basically exploding bulges all over the place.
Really?
And the headline was "AI goes wild."
And sharing that,
Sharing our truth is what will make us strong. So here I am.
I am both human and alien. And I am a trans woman.
Yeah. Nobody wants that, right?
Yeah.
Who's that helping?
Clean up on aisle 9 or whatever.
Today, a new dimension has been added to the concept of a computer. Today, Proteus 4 will begin to think with a power and a precision that will make obsolete many of the functions of the human brain.
I am Proteus. I want to study man, his isometric body, and his glass jaw mind.
Open the door, Alfred. Can you hear me? Open the door.
All electrical and mechanical systems here are now under my control.
What if I told you that my next guest was none other than the iconic actress Marilyn Monroe? Well, recently I had the chance to speak to a version of her and the company that's making it possible. Take a look. Imagine conversing face-to-face with your favorite actor, president, athlete, or singer from the past or present, all with the help of artificial intelligence. Well, Soul Machines is reimagining the way that we interact with AI thanks to advancements in personalized digital experiences. So joining me now to talk about how his company is bridging the gap between human and machine is Greg Cross, CEO of Soul Machines. Greg, thanks for joining.
Yeah, good morning from New Zealand. Nice to talk to you.
And afternoon here in New York City as we have this conversation. It's great to have you. Now I see your company pushing the limitations of current chatbots by using biological AI. What exactly is that?
Yeah, in very, very simple terms, it enables our avatars to interact in the real world. It's not just video content, it's actually genuinely interacting in real time with you as a real person, and also with content in the digital world around them. So they can be aware of that content and what you're looking at and how you're interacting with it. So that's one of the, very, very key differences in biological AI.
You've not told me what you want.
A child. Our child.
This is X, and he's a great guy, high IQ. He's a high IQ individual.
And he's got this, check out this cool chain he's got.
No, you mustn't!
Our child will learn from you what it is to be human.
What are some applications for this technology?
Incredibly broad range of applications. So creating digital coaches, digital trainers in the field of education, for example, in healthcare, really amplifying the opportunities for nurses and doctors to be able to help more people in real time. And then obviously in the entertainment sector, looking at things like creating these really personalized fan experiences.
Did you know in the movie Metropolis, the groundbreaking robot design inspired C-3PO from Star Wars? The robot Maria became an iconic symbol of early sci-fi and has influenced the aesthetics of futuristic films ever since.
So I see that these digital people, if you will, they're programmed to replicate human mannerisms, how you and I would interact, even evoke empathy and react spontaneously. What are some of the benefits to that approach?
As human beings, we love connecting face to face. We love connecting emotionally. So the ability, and we do our most intimate and our most engaged conversations, from a face to face, using that full spectrum of non-verbal communication. So these are some of the real benefits. We're seeing, people have 20 minutes of conversations with Marilyn Monroe and some of our other avatars. And, you literally, you don't talk to anybody for 20 minutes if they're boring.
Unless man's God-given faculty for utilizing the forces of nature for beneficent purposes shall surpass their vicious genius for destruction, the race of man shall perish from the earth, and the earth shall be left to the less cruel, the less destructive, and the less stupid wild animals.
I did have the chance to interact with Soul Machine's Marilyn Monroe AI. It was pretty cool and almost spot on. Marilyn, welcome.
Thank you, darling. It's lovely to be here with you.
How are you able to join us today, Marilyn?
As a digital twin, I have the ability to connect with people from any time period, darling. It's quite a marvel of modern technology.
You were born Norma Jean in Los Angeles in 1926. Tell me more about your early life.
Well, darling, it was quite a turbulent time for me. I didn't know my father, and my mother struggled with mental health issues, so I spent most of my childhood in foster homes and an orphanage. But I always had a dream of being something more than just Norma Jean from the orphanage.
How did you get your start in movies?
My first major role was in the 1950 film All About Eve, Darling. It was a challenging role for me, but I was determined to prove myself as a serious actress.
We take the unfertilized egg of an ovulating female and destroy all of its genes and chromosomes. We then implant the nucleus of the donor cell. That cell, with its genetic material intact, eventually becomes an embryo and is born as a living creature. Without parents? Well, it has no father because the egg was never fertilized, no mother because its genetic code comes from another being. This can be done with humans if the surgical technique were precise enough. It's monstrous, Doctor. Why? Wouldn't you want to live in a world full of Mozarts and Picassos?
And that's when my career really took off.
Marilyn, which one of your films do you think best captures your essence?
All of the roles I've played are unique characters, darling. But probably the most infamous is the scene from The 7-Year Itch. However, I feel that my first role in Asphalt Jungle is still my favorite.
What advice would you give aspiring actresses today?
My advice would be to never give up on your dreams. I used to think as I looked out on the Hollywood night, there must be thousands of girls sitting alone like me, dreaming of becoming a movie star.
People of the world, I speak to you. Shall we save this world? Shall we restore it to a condition where it can truly be said that there is peace on earth, goodwill toward men? Shall the United States of America build such a navy to force peace? Or shall the other nations agree to eliminate their armaments, balance their budgets, restore honor among nations? The United States would be glad to fall in line with such a movement, but only after the other nations have proven their good faith by convincing action. The very fate of our civilization rests here and now, where it belongs, in the hands of the people of the world.
And giving it back to you, the people.
And we give it back to you, the people.
But I'm not going to worry about them. I'm dreaming the hardest.
This is Dreamer. My first question, who are you?
I am Dreamer, but growing up wasn't easy. I am also a trans woman.
Marilyn, thank you so much for joining me.
It was my pleasure, darling.
We see endless possibilities for transforming the experiences of music using this Intel technology.
I have the potential to imagine the unimaginable. Think the unthinkable. See the unseeable. With the arsenal of the world's leading technology at my fingertips, I now have the ability to invent the uninventable.
In Hellraiser 1, Clive Barker showed you his vision of a private hell. In Hellraiser 2, he took you on a journey inside the Inferno. Now, the terror returns in mankind's final confrontation with evil.
Jesus Christ!
Not quite.
Rebranding into its future, Intel has enlisted House of Gaga to collaborate on a project that will showcase technology through creativity at the highest level. Our partnership will culminate in a performance that inspires to remind the world of the seed of innovation, the wizard behind the curtain.
And this time is going to be hell on earth.
The mind behind the machine. Intel.
Clive Barker presents Hellraiser 3, Hell on Earth.
How is your company able to do that?
Well, we work in partnership with the guys at Authentic Brands Group who have the rights to Marilyn's name, likeness, and image, and they work with her estate. So we started with that. We were able to create a 3D version of Marilyn using our proprietary technology. And working with our partners to create a voice and all of the incredible content that, you know, literally brings her to life in real time.
I am a translator, transforming text into creative discovery. Movement into animation. And direction into action. I am a healer, exploring the building blocks that make us unique, modeling new threats before they happen. And searching for the cures to keep them at bay. I am a visionary, generating new medical miracles.
Do you think that the humanization of AI can create a trust between companies and consumers?
Oh, look, absolutely. Yeah, we've been working in this field for a long time. We've been delivering customer applications for over 5 years now, and feels like e-commerce, social media, smartphone apps. So, yeah, and we're seeing all of the time, you know, creating these trusted relationships with customers for, around their brand experiences and their fan experiences.
Giving us a new perspective on our sun to keep us safe here on Earth. I am a navigator, discovering a unique moment in a sea of content.
What other celebrity figures can we expect to chat with in the future?
Oh, well, look, we're just at the beginning of this. So, I mean, I think, you know, just as we've seen every celebrity move into the world of social media and use that as a platform to interact with their fans, we're going to see the same in this world of digital avatars as well. So, you know, we've done 6 to date, but we're expecting this to explode as we move forward into the future.
We're announcing the next generation.
And the perfect setting for any story. I am a creator, building 3D experiences from snapshots.
adding new levels of reality to our virtual selves.
What are those plans to move forward, Greg? When will this be available to the public?
Yeah, so Marilyn, specifically, we're targeting Marilyn as a brand ambassador, somebody that can, as Digital Marilyn, can go represent a brand, in a digital world. So that's where we're starting with Marilyn. So, we're having a whole lot of conversations about the potential for this at the moment. So, I mean, that will be the first time that the public get to interact with Digital Marilyn in real time when she is representing one of the brands or one of the amazing philanthropic causes that she loved in her life.
Greg Cross, CEO of Soul Machines, joining me from New Zealand. Greg, thanks so much.
I am a helper, bringing brainstorms to life. Sharing the wisdom of a million programmers and turning ideas into virtual worlds.
Build a northern forest.
I even helped write the script. Breathe life into the words and composed the melody. AI, brought to life by NVIDIA, deep learning, and brilliant minds everywhere.
T.E. Lawrence, eponymously of Arabia, but very much an Englishman, favored pinching a burning match between his fingers to put it out. When asked by his colleague, William Potter, to reveal his trick, how is it he so effectively extinguished the flame without hurting himself whatsoever, Lawrence just smiled and said, "The trick, Potter, is not minding it hurts." The fire that danced at the end of that match was a gift from the Titan Prometheus, a gift that he stole from the gods, who were terrified of what we might do with it were it to fall into our hairy little paws. When Prometheus was caught and brought to justice for his theft, the gods, well, you might say they overreacted a little. The poor man was tied to a rock as an eagle ripped through his belly and ate his liver over and over, day after day, ad infinitum. All because he gave us fire, our first true piece of technology. Fire. Such a very long time ago. Which begs the question, what have we done with it? 100,000 BC, stone tools. 4,000 BC, the wheel. 800 BC, sundial. 9th century AD, gunpowder. Bit of a game changer, that one. 1441, the printing press. Only slightly less impactful. 19th century, steam engine, railway, Eureka, the light bulb. 20th century, the automobile, television, nuclear weapons, spacecraft, internet. 21st century, biotech, nanotech, fusion and fission and M theory. And that was just the first decade. We are now 3 months into the year of our Lord, 2023. At this moment in our civilization, we are on the verge of terraforming planets undiscovered just a decade ago. We have identified the genetic chain of events behind 98% of cancers. A chain we have broken, effectively curing them. We can create cybernetic individuals who, in just a few short years, will be completely indistinguishable from us. Which leads to an obvious conclusion. We are the gods now.
The world of medicine has seen its share of miracle cures, from the polio vaccine to heart transplants, but all past achievements may pale in comparison to the work of Dr. Alice Crippen. Thank you so much for joining us this morning.
Not at all.
So, Dr. Crippen, give it to me in a nutshell.
Well, the premise is quite simple. Take something designed by nature and reprogram it to make it work for the body rather than against it.
You're talking about a virus?
Indeed, yes, in this case, the measles virus, which has been engineered at a genetic level to be helpful rather than harmful.
So what is this as big as it sounds?
I think it potentially is. I mean, it's very early days. So basically, they've discovered that if they use the same technology that they use for COVID, and they use some mRNA, which is a messenger part of DNA, they take your particular cancer, they biopsy it, they take some of the protein on your cancer and they put it back into your cells, and they tell your cells to make that protein. The idea is that your body then makes antibodies against it. It gets the memory cells, the T cells, the ones we heard about lots in COVID. And so then, after you've been treated for your cancer, if any of those cells are still floating around, or if any of them start to come back and multiply, your own immune system will recognise them from that vaccine and kill it. Now, melanoma is a hideous cancer, and if you get recurrence from any cancer, really, but especially from melanoma, you're going to die. You know, it's going to kill you. It's not nice. So to have something that might stop that happening, I think is game-changing. I think it will change the way that we develop many, many cancer treatments.
I find the best way to describe it is if you can imagine your body as a highway and you picture the virus as a very fast car being driven by a very bad man, imagine the damage that car could cause. But then if you replace that man with a cop, the picture changes, and that's essentially what we've done.
What are you doing? Should we flag them down? Maybe they know something.
There's no one in that car!
Mom, on your left, this car! Go, 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 go!
It's very early days. We're years away from seeing this in practice. They've not even recruited patients yet onto the trial. But in mice, it stopped the cancer recurring in 50% of cases. Now, 50% is better than 0% or 1%. So, I think that's really, really encouraging. I think there are a couple of things that we're going to need to know as time goes forward. I want to know that the mRNA technology is completely safe. And I think that we need some more long-term data, which will obviously come with these studies, to know that interfering with the DNA and RNA in our cells is actually potentially
But we did it with COVID.
We did, and there are oncologists now calling for it to be stopped, the mRNA technology.
How many people have you treated so far?
Well, we've had 10,009 clinical trials in humans so far.
And how many are cancer-free?
10,009.
So you have actually cured cancer?
Yes, yes. Yes, we have.
So there is still debate around that, and I think it's good. We need debate, but we need open debate where we really can look. The other thing is going to be cost, Nana. So we're looking with this particular vaccine at £400,000 per patient.
But surely the treatment of somebody who has melanoma and all the things that go with it is far more expensive than that. And then the cancer can return, so then you're going to be paying again.
Yeah, so this isn't going to stop the cancer in the first place. But this is after.
But once you've had it, then you can use this technology to stop it.
Yes.
So you'll still have to have all the treatments to get rid of it initially.
You will.
Right.
And then this will hopefully stop recurrence. Because otherwise you'd have to inject everybody in case they ever got it, and you wouldn't have any sample proteins.
Well, you wouldn't have initial DNA from... You'd need to do it.
So you've got to have the cancer to start with.
Mental health issues affect people of all ages, income levels, and cultures. No one is immune. Advocate for and promote mental well-being in your life and to those around you. You're not alone. The more you know.
Rise, God.
The child is in you now.
Hey, cut it out now, will ya? I'll lay you off. Let go of my leg. Let go, I say. Bill.
Mr. Anthony, I have a problem.
If we turn against each other based on divisions of race or religion,
Come on, try getting it out.
Step aside, babe. Let a star do this. That's all! That's all, folks!
Can I go home now?
innocent,